Hi, my name is Priscilla Plazola.
And I'm Harrison Sharp, and this is the Tailwind Flash Briefing.
So Facebook is allowing businesses to host online events and courses for free. Businesses will receive 100% of the revenue, except on iOS, where the usual 30% App Store fee will be applied. So that's just something to keep in mind if this is something your business is looking into. The offering is self-contained within Facebook, so it'll include the hosting, the promotion, the ticket sales, and payment processing. All of those are provided by the platform, and businesses will be able to collect the payments directly through Facebook. Marketers will be able to set up their event and promote it to their following or run Facebook ads to further increase their reach, of course. Marketers will also be able to create custom audiences from the event attendees. And Facebook claims that this feature will be free for at least a year. So something else to keep in mind if this is something you're looking to get into, but at least for a year, it'll be free.
Well, a lot of our listeners do work for agencies. Is there a way that agencies, small or large, could use this feature?
I think so. Agencies have a very specific set of knowledge that can be monetized. Some organizations have the resources and the funds available. They're lucky enough to hire an agency, I should say. Others might not have the resources available to do so. So in this situation, I think it'd be helpful for agencies to provide certain knowledge when it comes to marketing and just media strategy to these smaller businesses who might not have those funds available. So I know something we've discussed in the past at our organization, Tailwind, is creating these how-to videos where we would share best practices for certain marketing topics. So for example, tips on how to create impactful search ads, tips on how to write copy for Facebook ads, particularly for those, like I mentioned, that don't have the funds available to hire an agency directly.
If I'm a creator, what are some of the applications?
So there's a few different ways that you can use this tool, right? Some people have been using it to host expert talks. So like kind of think of like a TED Talk. Trivia events is another popular and fun event that people have been using this for. Podcast recordings, boxing matches, which is an interesting one that's been tossed in there. Cooking classes, and intimate meet and greets.
Streaming platform Twitch is in the spotlight right now as streamers on the platform are furious, absolutely enraged about the ad agency Ogilvy and their partnership with Burger King kind of manipulating Twitch's donation function. What Twitch is, for those who are not familiar, is a streaming service, mostly for gaming content, where the regular streamer, as they go by, they'll be playing a game which is being broadcast out, and you'll have the game on the main screen, and then in the tiny box in the corner, you can see the streamer as well. But in these streams, there's a function called donations, in which viewers can choose to give their favorite streamers a little bit of money. That helps streamers make this kind of like a career, because on top of these donations from their viewers, they also have a lot of times sponsorships from companies looking for like almost an influencer approach. So when people make these donations, basically the idea is you get to donate, and so you get to throw in a personal message that gets read aloud on the stream. So what Burger King and Ogilvy decided to do was just make $3, $5, very small donations, and then have this automated voice read out their message of things like, you can get a meal for $5. It's a small fry and a small drink and a Whopper or something to that effect, right? This really made a lot of people mad because this is kind of going around the traditional way where you would make an agreement in advance saying, oh yeah, well, we're Burger King. We want you to sponsor our content and talk about our, $5 meal deal. Here's $250 or something like that. But instead, they're kind of just hijacking these people's streams and saying, we're going to give you $5 and you're going to do what is essentially the same ad read for the same amount of people being reached. And we're going to call it a day. If you just have, a company like this just throwing it out there, well, this really blurs the line of, are the viewers aware that this is an ad? And a lot of people have already spoken out and said, maybe the FTC should get involved with this, because the FTC does have very firm guidelines on what is an advertisement and having to disclose things like that.
So how do you decide when an advertisement is too intrusive?
I think this is bordering on that, right? It's dangerously blurry in terms of, is this content? Because again, the account making these donations, not called Burger King, not called Ogilvy, I believe it was called King of the Stream, which it has King in the name, yes, but it is in no way clear that that's an ad account, like at all. And I think that's too far because it's reading it out. A lot of people probably didn't know it was an ad, but that's that's kind of the problem.
We all know, or a lot of us know, that Burger King tends to be pretty bold with their marketing efforts. Do
Mhm.
you think this play was on brand?
I would say no. It was past bold to the point of brazen a little bit. And even Ogilvy made a sizzle reel. And here's what gets my goat. They made a sizzle reel, called it King of the Stream, right? As if to add insult to injury in this particular sizzle reel. They had they had blurred the faces of some of the streamers that they bombarded with these donations. And they blurred their faces, distorted their voices so people couldn't tell who they were, right? They throw in this donation in this fellow's stream, and he sees it, he hears the message, and he says something along the lines of, "So when are you guys gonna sponsor me?" And then the text pops up on the screen and says, "We just did, buddy." They gave him $5, and I think I guess that's bold, yeah, but it's not a great look. It's bad optics. It's a little too much sauce on that Whopper there.
Well, I'm Priscilla.
And I'm Harrison. Thank you for tuning in for another week of the Tailwind Flash Briefing. Be sure to check in next week with us for the latest and the greatest, or maybe the not so great, coming in terms of marketing news. Catch you next week. Bye, everybody.